Hi friends, today we are going to talk about Section 79D, Schedule B of Maharashtra Public Trust Act 1950. Section 79D of MPT Act 1950 specify the court fees to be paid for various applications and documents filed under the Act. These fees are determined in Schedule B of the Act. Section 79D of MPT Act 1950 provides description of documents along with amended court fees value of the following sections. When we make an application under section 18(1), at that time registration of public trust court fee of rupees 200 is required. On schedule 2 rule 6, on section 22(1), at the time of filing of change report court fees of rupees 200 is required. On schedule 3 y rule 13(1) of MPT Act 1950. On section 25(1), at the time of filing of application, Charity Commissioner has power to decide about inquiry, and for that court fee of rupees 200 is required on application, and he has power to determine which of the deputy or assistant Charity Commissioner shall proceed that inquiry, as well as on section 29, application must be submitted before the deputy or assistant charity commissioner along with court fees of rupees 200 regarding registration of public trust through will. If there is a will, at that time when you are submitting the documents on application, 200 rupees court fee is required. On section 35, when you make application where the amount to be invested does not exceed rupees 5,000, then rupees 50 is required. When it's between 5,000 to 15,000, then 100 rupees is required. When it's between 15,000 to 25,000, then 150 rupees is required. When it exceeds rupees 25,000 or more than 25,000, then court fee of rupees 250 is required while making an application or filing an application before the Charity Commissioner. Now we will talk about section 36. On section 36(1), when you make an application for sanction of the Charity Commissioner for sale, exchange or gift of an immovable property, when the matter is relating to immovable property at that time, where the value does not exceed 5,000, then rupees 50. When between 5,000 to 15,000, then 100. When it's between 15,000 to 1 lakh, then 150. When it's between 1 lakh to 5 lakh rupees, then rupees 500. When it's between 5 lakh to 10 lakh, then 750. When it's between 10 lakh to 25 lakhs, then 1,000. When it's between 25 lakh to 50 lakh, then 1,500. When between 50,000 to 75,000, then rupees 2,000 court fee is required, as well as when between 75 lakh to 1 crore, then rupees 2,500 court fee is required. When in any other case where the value of the property involved exceeds rupees 1 crore, then 3,000 is required. If the value of the property is more than 1 crore and whatever it will be there, then rupees 3,000 is required at that time. There is very little bit difference between section 36(1), A, B and C. A is relevant to sale, exchange or gift. 36(1)B relevant to lease of immovable property, and 36(1)C is relevant to authorizing trustees to dispose of immovable property. Hence, no need to discuss in details about the court fees value. Now friends, on section 36(2), when we make an application for cancellation of order given by the Charity Commissioner under clause A or B of subsection 1 of section 36, the court fees of rupees 200 is required. When we make an application under section 36(2), court fee of rupees 200 is required. On section 36(a)(3), we can make an application to borrow money. It means that the trustees has to take prior permission from Charity Commissioner to borrow money from any other authority where the amount to be borrowed does not exceed rupees 5,000, then rupees 25. When between 5,000 to 15,000, then rupees 100. When it's between 15,000 to 50,000, then 150. When it's between 50,000 to 1 lakh, then rupees 200 court fee is required. When between 1 lakh to 5 lakh, then rupees 250. When it's between 5 lakh to 10 lakh rupees, then at the time of the application you have to pay 250 rupees. In any other case where the amount to be borrowed exceeds rupees 10 lakhs and more than of it will be, then 500 rupees is required to make or is required to pay the court fees while making an application under section 36A(3). Now friends, we are going to go ahead on 41B1. The 41B, it's relevant to the inquiry. Application contain a complaint by a person. If any person have a right to make an application for the complaint under section 41B, it's very important sections. And at the time of making an application under section 41B, you have to pay 100 rupees court fee while making an application, as well as when you make an application 41D1, application for removal or dismissal of the trustees. When you file the application or making an application or against any trustees, at that time 100 rupees court fee is required on that application. On section 41E1, application for temporary injunction for the purpose specified in section 41E. When we make an application and we need some injunction, that's a temporary injunction, at that time on that application 100 rupees court fee is required nowadays. As well as 47(1), application under subsection 1 of section 47. What's the 47 is appointment of new trustee. At that time you have to pay court fee of rupees 100. On 47(5), appeal to the High Court. When you make an application before the High Court, and that time also you have to pay 100 rupees court fee. Now we will talk about on section 50A, application to the assistant or deputy charity commissioner for framing or modifying a scheme. If you want to change anything in the scheme, or you want to file the scheme, or you want to make any kind of amendment, at that time on that application along with whatever document is required under section 50A, you have to pay court fee of rupees 100. On 51(1), application to the charity commissioner for consent to file a suit for the nature specified in section 50. If you want to file any kind of suit before any other court or city civil court or small cause court, at that time you have to take a permission from charity commissioner, and for that you have to make an application, and for that 100 rupees court fee is required. 51(2), appeal to the court against the decision of the charity commissioner. You have a right to make an appeal, and for that also 100 rupees court fee is required. Now my friends, here some sections very important, like 71, appeal to the charity commissioner against the finding of deputy or assistant charity commissioner under section 20, 22, 28. Under section 50A, subsection 3 of section 54 and subsection 1 of section 79. Now if you want to file any kind of appeal before the charity commissioner, court fee of rupees 100 is required, and that appeal must be relevant or against order of section 20, 22, 28, 50A or 41C. At that time, if you want to file an appeal, you can go for appeal also. Now friends, we will talk about section 73A. Section 73A clearly specifies the intervention application. The third party has a right to be a party in a proceeding, and for that application must be filed by the third party to become a member or respondent or applicant in the proceeding, and for that rupees 10 court fees required at the time of making an application. So section 73 is very important. It's application by a person having interest in a public trust for joining as a party. If any person, if he want to become a party, at that time he have to make an application and proceed the matter. Now, Muktarnama or Wakalatnama. In any Wakalatnama, if the advocate is going to file, 10 rupees court fee is very important, and it should be on Wakalatnama for conduct of any inquiry. If there is an inquiry, appeal or any proceeding to the charity commissioner on the deputy or assistant charity commissioner, at that time 10 rupees court fee on Wakalatnama, or you can say the Muktarnama, it's important. Without that, the application or that Wakalatnama will be revoked by the assistant, deputy or charity commissioner. And nowadays it's very important, the application to the charity commissioner or the deputy or assistant charity commissioner for the copies under the act. If you want certified copy or any kind of copy from the office of charity commissioner, at that time on that application 5 rupees court fee is required. Nowadays there is a specific format in the charity commissioner office. By taking of that, you can fill it and you can file it, and on that application 5 rupees court fee is required. So if you want any application or any copy or any proceeding, you want to take it from charity commissioner office, at that time on that application you have to make an application, or you can take a ready-made format from charity commissioner office by affixing 5 rupees court fee. As well as in any other application or petition presented to the charity commissioner or the deputy or assistant charity commissioner, 10 rupees court fee is required. Any other application presented to the charity commissioner or the deputy or assistant charity commissioner, 10 rupees court fee is required. Any other application, it means that if you are making an application before any authority, charity, deputy or assistant, at that time, if that's a simple application like a adjournment application or any further application, on that time you have to make a, or you have to put a court fee of rupees 10. It's a further request to all of the users, kindly subscribe and share, as it's a very important topic for all of you. Thank you.